or neither.
Maybe Paquito or the Benedetta.
Ooh, that's true.
You're right.
Fluffy with the Benedetta. So Benedetta, Paquito, Yuzong. Those are the three that I'm expecting here. Up against the Gord, right? You want to have a bit of dive.
I wonder if they're considering something even like a Lapu Lapu, you know,
They already
something
have
with a
an
bit more
XP, right?
AoE.
You're right. I keep forgetting about the CC.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right, you. Wow, hey,
We did
hang
this
on.
twice now. I did this twice now.
All right, so I'm seeing some kind of lockdown, some kind of chase. Okay, there you go. For the longest time, this has been a thing, right? The shield unity combined with the movement speed buff, and now against what is most likely a Gord with an Ice Queen's wand, the Angela with an Ice Queen's wand, all that slows are going to be nullified. This is a wrecking ball strat coming in from Evos, going full speed towards Dewa.
This is a battle of durability. 2 utility junglers plus 2 healers. A lot of buff as well. I'm sensing a long game here from Evos and Dewa United, considering that Dewa is indeed, like, on average, they also have the longest game duration in MPL Indonesia Season 13. But let's see though, if that's gonna be the case. What is on a Claude, which can pop off quite early in the game, in the mid game once he got that corrosion sight and also Demon Hearted Sword. So you don't really have to wait until the late game to be able to make use of what.
We'll just have to see how they make use of all the weapons they have. It's speed versus damage. Sometimes the speed can outmaneuver, but here we go, Shevin.
The Apostles of the Gods versus the White Tigers is looking for glory. It's Evos Glory versus Dewa United.
A whole new lineup to try to bring Dewa down and to bring a win. Their first one in Season 13. Can they do it?
Off the bat, let's talk about Dreams with the focusing mark on the Rafaela. Trying to be a bit more aggressive, not only wanting to be utility-based. On the other side, though, Key's having the Impure Rage, more poke-centric more than anything. Not really going for anything too crazy when it comes to poke. So we'll have to see. Again, the durability battle is going to be there between Drian and Dreams. Both starting with D, which is quite interesting. Later on, though, I feel like Evos can chase down a lot better. But Dewa, they have the damage to just instantly burst someone down. That will be where it gets important, right? The mind game, the vision game later on.
I have to ask you though, Rashi, when it comes to this lineup for Evos, Natko already forced to flicker early on. Watt's actually taking this lane super slow up against the Bruno. Back to the question, Rashi. The Rafaela. First time that we've seen Rafaela in Season 13. No flicker or Natko. Gary's looking for possible gank. He has a death in his welcome. He's going to go for the charge. But he zones Natko away from the minion wave. This is disastrous for Natko, especially with the Master Assassin. But back to the question, Rashi. Rafaela, why are we seeing it here?
To go up against the slows for sure, to battle with the sustain, and of course to help with the chase. Like we said, with the box jam, Rafaela was a thing for quite a while, and technically you can kind of use this combo with the Bruno as well. It's another alternative to the Diggy Bruno combo to get a very dominant lane. But now the problem is Dreams is following Annabelle around, and they're doing great there. But the other lane, Natko, that's supposed to be really winning, really dominating that lane, really isn't doing so hot.
Fun fact as well, this combo of Bakshi and Rafaela has been around for a very long time. Since M1, when 10S Gaming, I believe, popularized this meta combo. And Evos was the champion of that tournament.
Dixon, level 4 already, has the final flash, goes into Fluffy, and that's Dixon! All the Arnods are getting the neutral objectives! That's a good death to his welcome from Gary, but Fluffy picks up first blood as he goes in for more, but Dixon on the back is just tearing it up, now flickering on that clock and picking up a double, and the Holy Baptism doesn't connect. Still though, without Drian's healing, Fluffy picks up the double, and in the end, it's 2 for 2, but Dewa were able to secure the neutral objective.
What's happening right now, Rashi? I think I'm not even surprised anymore.
Well, Dixon, he takes the turtle, and he gets a double right there, really showing the potential of this Arlot used aggressively instead of utility. We've always seen it being used in the roam position, and I think even some players, Clockun will have to walk up and be in a more vulnerable spot. Because of that, and the experience of Dewa in these neutral objective dances, I feel like they will make the first move for sure, but they might get countered.
Rafaela is doing a good job to give Annabelle a bit more of that sustained mid lane. Going to be cleared already by Clockun. Shield Unity onto Dixon, Holy Baptism. Going to be able to connect, but Gary jumps into the back with that. Welcome, Annabelle still finds it! Somehow, some way. Dixon jumped to the back side. It's going to be a Vengeance used up. Watt also onto Dreams now. 1 HP, Dixon slices him in the back. Fluffy's looking for a bit more. Looking for compensation. Dixon with a stun. Fluffy doesn't go for it. A kill over for the turtle.
I think there was a slight miscalculation from Gary. He thought that he could get the turtle despite just throwing Annabelle into the turtle as well. But it looks like it's not enough. And Natko might be getting this one.
Natko just brute forcing the turret take. That's good for him. Now Dewa, they were getting some value right there, losing the turret, but the turtle, but still having the pressure that they have in those neutral objective takes. Now that Keys has finished the Ice Queen's one as well, that's another layer of crowd control that Evos have to calculate. They have to wait for Dreams to have the holy healing before they even try and go into those choke points where Dewa can just slow the whole team with those spells.
So, I don't know, it's a bit on to Annabelle, but the main problem for Dewa has been the healing, sustained from Dreams. Annabelle actually taking that Poissons very early on, no damage reduction now. Without Poissons, Watt going back up to that turret up top that has actually been taken away by Natko earlier. Prio, blazing the wet though, and the battle mirror image with a hard guard here.
Oh no!
Dixon! The auto tap jumps into the other side. Dreams though will use a holy baptism, and in the end it will be worth it for Dewa United, who takes a dub through distractions as Gary finds a free neutral objective.
The bottom lane though, a turret gets taken down by Fluffy, so it is still a trade for these teams.
Well, it's still worth for Dewa for sure. Everything going to plan, able to stand their ground and use the threat of a more reliable engage, reliable front line to really pressure Evos away from the objective. You gotta look at this contrast here between the Rockweiler and the Angela. Drian has built the Flats of the Oasis first, whereas for Dreams, he actually went and built the Necklace of Durance. So a bit of a difference in priority. For Evos, it's all about that utility more than anything. But for Dewa, they're trying to play around with that sustain.
Take a look at the items, Arashi. Looks like Gary is prioritizing that magic defense towards Clockhood with Radiant Armor first item.
Well, the glowing one will definitely be able to take down, well, to take and actually stack the Radiant Armor, so it's a good item. If the fights are projected to be long duration, then the Radiant Armor is definitely a better pick, because most likely Gary won't be the main target about right now. If he can do the same in an actual big fight, it could be disastrous for Dewa.
It's gonna be a long Lord fight, I believe. These two have healing. They need to know when to stay away from the trigger and pull the trigger as well. As Keys already got a pretty good position on towards that middle push. Clockhood has to rotate to be able to get that.
Well, this is where Dewa United has so much advantage. They have the Angela for the macro play, and they have the Gourd for a pick-off chance, but Annabelle makes the first move.
Haze as well, forced to flicker out. That's a worldie. Dixon final slash out of that call, forcing a flicker and jumping into the back with the Eternal Guard of the Blazing Duet to slice them down. It's Watt again who comes to clean Evos up. The gold lane down, but Gary is low. Evo's glory certainly still have more sustain with the constant healing of the Rafaela, but they've lost a member. Fluffy putting pressure down onto Gary, and it won't be him who picks up the purple buff, a steal from the Dino.
Small W for Evos glory, but that was a kind of a weird engage from Dixon, going in knowing Watt isn't there yet, but it turns out doesn't really need to wait. He doesn't really need to wait because Watt is very speedy, especially with the hard guard also.
Well, when you surprise the casters, you definitely catch your opponents by surprise as well. So, great play by Dixon, 3-1-1. He's definitely a presence that Evos want to try and find a solution for here. Maybe saving a stun to make sure that the final slash doesn't really throw things out of balance.
How do you take care of Fluffy at this point? You can just go into the back line and wreak havoc, especially towards Keys. You can't really get away with a flicker.
Look at the side lane.
Just already on cooldown. Do they want to pull the trigger right now?
They have lost a turret already, Evos. So I feel like they are now feeling like, wow, we really lost something. Now we have to try and find a play.
An Eternal Guard used up. Good Dexterous welcome from Gary to get out of a possible initiation from Evo's glory. No Eternal Guard now. Annabelle has the Poissons, but doesn't have the shield unity in the mid lane. CC still there. No one's dealing with the bottom side. Drian is just having a field day with the turrets.
Yeah, my guy Drian might as well build some physical items as well, just to push the turret. Yeah, I think it works so far, should be, because they're not doing anything towards Drian to take care of it.
Now CC goes bot, and now it's Dewa who are going to be the ones who hold this down. We're looking for an angle to initiate as well. Still on the bottom side. Now Annabelle walking forward, plays into it from Watto into the back. Now finding Dreams as well. It's gonna be Nato and Dreams taken down, and even the Lord goes to Dewa. Out-macroed, completely outclassed. Evos Glory. They were stuck in a rough spot and they couldn't make a decision.
It's looking really bleak for Evos Glory. The glory that they're seeking right now, it's definitely far from it. Right now, Dewa United is up about 2.8k. Still pretty much catchable, but with the Lord coming up, it's gonna balloon towards like 6 or 5k.
Especially if Dewa will be able to actually position properly and set up for those turrets, leaving only the base turrets. Right now, again, Keys, the threat of the possibility of his team behind him, he just walks up there with no backup at all. And Evos, they don't want to take that risk. They want to make sure that they try and deal with the Lord and the waves first, playing a lot more textbook. But Dewa is winning by making those unorthodox maneuvers.
Keys with the long-range hero, already in the keys of victory.
Oh,
got it, and he's definitely performing so far. 0-0-4, not much in the killing department, but he's been very much effective with those Mystic projectiles.
No Eternal Guard. It's been dealt with. Mystic Gush onto Fluffy Dreams and Annabelle. They're still able to sustain it, but the Lord will take the base turret down. They built enough waves, and without the Eternal Guard, with it being used a bit prematurely, they take a free turret with the first Lord, Arashi.
I think Clocken was trying to use the Eternal Guard to stall it out, and it kind of worked just for a bit. But that also means that the Eternal Guard gets cleared before the Lord even gets in range. Looking at the items right here, especially for Keys, the Evos are the ones coming from the side lanes. Keys and Watt do struggle to really find an avenue of approach. So if they can mimic the same kind of outcome in the middle of a Lord fight using their higher mobility, there is potential here.
No flicker on Dixon.
Oh, wow.
Holy battles him on the Dixon. Now he only can go in. He goes in with the final stack in the back line. What? Blazing 2 rounds in the back. Dreams going to get melted down. Nako follows next. Everybody's crumbling to Watt as he free hits Annabelle down. That's a double kill for Watt. Fluffy jumping in now only with the immortality. No vengeance left will mean that Watt can shred him down too. It's a triple.
Oh.
3 out with the flicker, tying Clocken up.
Oh
Watt with the
God.
sidestep. No introduction just there for Watt to claim a maniac. Dewa have wiped the White Tigers out in the 15th minute of the game. It looks to be the final moments of Evos Glory in game 1 against Dewa. They claim game number 1 with style.
The old man is not out of it just yet. He still got it. The veterans of the veterans in the gold lane took care of business in game number 1. Evos Glory still very far from what they're looking for.